live from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. This is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, aspirational, international, keenly awaited, highly anticipated edition of the Advanced Trading Program, Module number 4, brought to you by Real Life Trading. Folks and friends, team and family, fans from around the entire globe. How's everyone doing? Woo, I'm fired up again. That's right. If you're watching this in the recording, it just happens all like this every day for me in my life. Why? Because I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, each and every one of you. I truly do appreciate your time, your energy. It's an absolute honor to have each and every one of you who is here. Matt Long, thank you for helping me with this class today. David says he's happy to be here. John's excited. Carolyn Bailey, welcome. JD Stone. Nathaniel, how's it going? Pam, Phil, Ronnie. Mr. Wynn, welcome. Mr. Terry, welcome. Tracy Ball, Victor Avarian. All right, gorgeous. Here we go, team. Let's make some magic. Our mission, as you all know, is to enrich lives. We do that by guiding many people towards fully achieving and understanding financial freedom. The goal of this module is to talk about long-term investing, but specifically, how can we find the next Apple? 7 to 4, if that sounds nice. I get asked that all the time. How can we find the next Apple NEWSOME? I want to make money. Let's talk about it. Let's find out. Let's go through some stuff and see what we can create, what we can build, and how we can do it, and how it's done, and all that goodness. All right, cool. A little bit about me, just in case. I currently love collecting physical currencies, old coins, paper money, gold and silver. It's just fun. I like it. Something a little, I know that I'm not going to make tons of money on it. It's just fun to do. The sporting event that I tend to watch the most are usually playoffs of any sport and the finals. I really love the World Cup, UFC, NFL, and college football. Go Gators. I'm truly a lover of all kinds of music. If you ever hang out with me, I will listen to a little bit of everything. I will go from Queen all the way to Stone Temple Pilots, all the way to Ace of Base. Man, some German polka, bring it on. Yes, the Holy Trinity, Rush, let's get it. I love all kinds of music. Beastie Boys, absolutely. German music, sure. Russian music, sure. If it has music, I like it. And with RLT, our big vision is to create a global training and trading company that teaches and instructs and guides and mentors people about personal finance, stock trading, real estate, investing, entrepreneurship, and much more. In fact, I just got off the phone with someone in the collegiate field of sports, and they are looking to partner with an investing and stock trading specialist to help college kids learn the stock market. Ladies and gentlemen, that's why I'm so excited right now. Man, that's a big achievement for me. By big achievement, I mean, I want so badly to be able to help our nation's children and young adults learn about the stock market, put this into the college system, put this into high school, middle school. It's starting. And it's all because of you. So thank you for spreading the word and for telling other people about real life trading. Jeff says the first line of storms. That's right. So anyway, really, really excited about it. If you want the slides for tonight, as you all know, you probably have all texted this number. If you haven't, try so. But feel free to throw in the slide if you are here watching this for the very first time. Here's where we are. Module 4, long-term investing. The next module, for those who are here live, we're going to be talking about Elliott wave, Fibonacci analysis. We'll do a little bit of recap, some Q&A. It's going to be great. And if you're watching the recording, well, it's just minutes away for you. So enjoy. Let's discuss a little bit of long-term investing. If that's what the name of this module is, what do people currently do and why do they do it? Now, granted, most of what we're going to talk about in this particular realm really kind of is specific towards US long-term investing, only because I don't know a lot about other countries' investing styles. I know a little bit about Canada when they have your tax-free savings plan. And I know a little bit about Australia, how you have your super. So there's always retirement vehicles in almost every country. Again, I don't know all the names, and I'm not totally caught up on what they're all called, but this is going to be a little sprinkle of mainly US terms. What a lot of people do, and I just posted an article online about 401ks. This is the traditional long-term investing. 401ks, IRAs, and Roth IRAs. So Roth IRA is post-tax, IRA is pre-tax, and 401k is also pre-tax. And that is something that your employer here in the States can help contribute to. And I mentioned in an article that if you can get a company matching 401k, you should absolutely do it. If your company doesn't match at all, then it's just, another investment vehicle. But if you get company matched, absolutely. When I worked at Nationwide Insurance, they matched 6%, up to 6% of my investment. And what I did is invested 6% of my paycheck, every single paycheck, and they matched 6%. So at the time, I was getting paid somewhere around $1,300 every 2 weeks. Right? Not that much, but it's relatively the norm out there in the world. That's kind of like that norm base rate. So $1,300, that was net, by the way. That was after everything came out. So the 6%, the 6% comes out to 12%. So you're looking at approximately, give or take, $180, right? So again, we're talking, this was net. So before everything came out, but regardless, I was getting about $180 every paycheck, let's just say, into my 401k. And I got paid twice a month. So that was $360 every single month that would go into my 401k, and times 12 months, that's $4,320. The interesting stat, and I'm sure a lot of you heard it, is most US, well, I was going to say people, but yeah, the people who live in the United States, most of them don't have $500 saved in cash anywhere for a rainy day, which is scary because, again, it's not that hard to save that. I mean, again, I was 18 when I started doing it. So as soon as I was in the company, I was putting in putting in that amount of money every single year. And plus I worked a little bit of overtime and, slowly juiced it up. So over that 2 years, that's how I kind of built it up to around 9,000 and some change. And I started investing directly through my 401k, something called a self-directed 401k. I love trading in IRAs, Roth IRAs, 401ks. You can do it. It is possible. And I don't know if you're watching this and you're excited about investing in 401ks, but you can. However, what most, not only US, but most people in general, what they do in their 401ks, their IRAs, and their Roth IRAs is they buy and hold mutual funds, which is just dumb. It's just not I don't know of anyone. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I just personally haven't met someone who is financially free at a young age from investing and buying and holding mutual funds. Do you guys know of anyone? So think of anyone that you know, anyone who's under 50 who is a liquid multimillionaire because they bought and hold mutual funds. I know some 60, 70-year-old people who've done very well over their life. They have $1 million or $2 million. They're ready to retire. And they call me asking me how to improve their $2 million in cash because they've been saving mutual funds for the last 35 years. It's just dumb. I wouldn't suggest it personally. There's other better, faster ways to do it that are also still safe. You could, for example, buy and hold ETFs. That's smarter. Mutual funds, you're taking out your expense ratios. ETFs, they can absolutely have those ratios, but they're not nearly as high as mutual funds because mutual funds have overhead that they have to pay for. They have salespeople. They have all kinds of things they got to pay for in order to create that mutual fund. ETFs are smarter. If you're going to buy and hold something, buy and hold an ETF, here's what I've recommended. I've been recommending since I started getting on the internet and talking about investing. Monthly or quarterly, weekly, even if you can, purchases of growing companies. That's kind of what I specifically somewhat would say I recommend doing from a non-licensed perspective. So what I'm going to do, I'll pull up a article really quick that's out there on the internet. Let me see if I can find it really quick on my other screen. I'm going to pull this up because I think you guys might enjoy this if I can track it down. What is stock market, real life trading? So I have an article out there called What in the Flipping Flip is the Stock Market? And I talk about just buying shares of Apple. I was like, hey, here's a strategy that you could do. You could simply just buy shares of Apple. That's it. And that's your retirement. That's all you have to do. So I'll bring it over here. It's actually a really good article. If you haven't read it or you want to send it to somebody, I wrote this about 2.5 weeks after I started RLT and then launched it not long after. But what is the stock market? So I talk about IRAs. I talk about 401ks. I talk about Walmart, right? The simple answer is to make money, buying shares of Walmart, buying shares of Apple. So again, this is 2015. Check it out. Consider simply buying shares of Apple, $5,000 worth every year, below is the stock chart of Apple. So I talk about Apple and some of the things. And I go, look, Apple's everywhere around you. 6 solid reasons to choose Apple. Do you see any Apple products? You probably do. Either iPhone, MacBook, iPod, Apple TV. I can't vividly recall walking into someone's house and not seeing at least one Apple product somewhere. They're a great company. They have cash, a lot of cash. Cash is king. Apple's one of the most popular stocks in the market. It has been for a long time. In 2014, they had a 1-for-7 split, so on and so forth. Boom, boom, boom. And so I'm going through this. Let me throw this one at you. $5,000 invested every year for 20 years with an interest rate of 10% annually comes to $316,000. You have contributed $100,000. You will have earned $216,000 in growth just over that time frame. Now we're going to talk a little bit about this in this particular section, but I wanted you to know that this has been something that's been true and near and dear to my heart for a long time. It's not that massively difficult. Yes, I'm entirely 100% financially free because I took the exact same steps I'll be walking you through tonight. If you are older in age, it's not too late. You can teach this stuff. You can help your kids, your grandkids learn this thing. You can give them this video. You can make sure they go through it. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down a very interesting comparison for some of you. David says, can you go self-directed in a 401k from a past job, or does it need to be your current? It needs to be your current, but you can roll your old 401k into your new 401k, blend it together, and then potentially do self-directed from there. Yep, great question. So check this out. Out of these two things, which one of these would you do? Most people use mutual funds, which is dumb, as we discussed. Well, let's look at a case study of two funds side by side. You have good old Vanguard. Good old Vanguard Stock 500 Index Fund, 4.1% compounded annual growth rate, which is CAGR. And you, over that time, have 4 down years and you have 7 times volatility, which is a lot. And then over here, you got the short-term bond index fund. Now, again, these are absolutely funds that you can buy in almost any U.S. IRA. Deepak says, how can we do a self-directed 401k? Can I call my broker and tell them that I want to do a self-directed 401k? Deepak answering his own questions. Way done, man. Way to get it done. Sometimes you just have to pick up the phone and talk to somebody. Ask them questions and make it happen. Yep. So when you're looking at this, these are 2 absolute mutual funds that almost any U.S. citizen can buy in any IRA they want to. Now, if we're looking at these 2 over time, if I go over and we're talking about a 15-year period from 2000 to 2014, which one would you have chosen? So go ahead and throw it in the chat pane. Which one would you choose? So you have, they have the exact same compounded annual growth rate, 4.1. Right? You have the stock index, which had 4 down years with 7 times volatility, and the bond index never had a down year. Which one are we doing? Woo, all of you are smart. You're all choosing the stock index. What's interesting about this, and again, I'm not saying bonds are bad. I am saying bonds are boring. I am saying that. They're phenomenal for huge sums of money that need to be protected. Right? Hundreds of millions of dollars. You have hundreds of millions of dollars that you absolutely need to be protected because of pensions or whatever. You could absolutely consider some safe instruments like bonds. If you're here right now and you have hundreds of millions of dollars, give me a call and let's make a little bit more money than what you're doing with bonds. Ring me on the phone, please. Obviously, you all know this, but some of the people watching might not, so I won't stay too much on this slide. But the reason it's possible that the index fund performed so much better than the bond fund is because when you're down, when you have down years, you are buying into that weakness. You are adding and compounding over time with down instruments, with down prices. You're buying low. So you have to have the right mindset, because I know it sounds easy to you, hashtag COVID-19, but a lot of investors will absolutely panic when the market has a drop, especially if it made it to an all-time high, hashtag COVID-19. When the stock makes it to an all-time high and just absolutely surges and has a drop, hashtag COVID-19, everyone panics and they freak out and they sell at the low because they don't want to lose money. But they forget that sometimes stocks will go down. Sometimes the markets will drop. It's a natural ebb and flow. That's why it's called buy low, sell high. Natural ebb and flow, buy low, sell high. It's all about the mindset, the understanding of what it is and what you're trying to do and why you're trying to do it. When the market tumbles, if we are actively buying, our mindsets go from one of fear, which often leads to panic selling, to one of encouragement. We're getting investments that we want to own for less money because we want to own these companies. That's exactly what just happened recently. Hashtag COVID-19. Again, can you properly time the highs and sell at the highs and buy the lows? Absolutely, you can. You can sell high and buy low. You can absolutely, without question, do that. What we're going to be talking about in this section, in this advanced class, is a little bit about the fundamentals on what you can look for, how you can look for it, why you can look for it, and what you can kind of do as a deep dive and just do some really critical thinking, because that's all that's required as far as picking the next quote unquote Apple, is spending some time doing some research because it is there. And then you leverage yourself. When I say leverage yourself, you put yourself in the right position at the right time with some money, and you stay in so that you can win. Victor says, what percentage of the portfolio do you recommend putting into long-term investment? It's a great question, Victor. Personally, in my opinion, I suggest having multiple portfolios. One long-term portfolio and other various short-term ones. I have a day trading account, swing trading account, a gamble account that I do really crazy high-risk things in. Cabria says, my 401k limits me to certain funds. How can I get out of that? Again, you can find out if you can do a self-directed 401k. And if you can't, oh well, that's fine. Find the most aggressive mutual fund that your 401k lets you get into. Go chart it and take all of your money out when it's high and then put all of your money back in when it's low. Because sometimes that is the case, that your fiduciary, which owns your 401k's assets, does not allow you to do anything aggressive. That can certainly happen. Not every company will allow you to do a self-directed 401k. Victor says, can I have multiple accounts within Interactive Brokers? Of course. Of course you can. Absolutely. Cabria says, I saw a fund that follows the S&P 500. Beautiful. Get into that one. Yeah, I like it. Cool. So again, here's something that you can consider. Buy slowly over time, systematically, like clockwork. Even if you think, oh, wait, I'm too young, or oh, I'm too old. I hear that all the time. I'm too young. I don't have enough money. I can't do it. You sure? Or, oh, I'm too old. I'm 60. I can't do it. It's not going to work. I don't know, because I looked at some stocks recently that are up like 3, 4, 500% in the last 9 months. Are you sure? Matt says, I have 0 mutual funds in my long-term account. I like it. I like it. So again, this is a long-term approach. Buy slowly, over time, systematically, like clockwork, good companies or ETFs. We're going to talk a little bit about the both. We're going to kind of distinguish between the two. Now, when you're talking about your long-term stuff, again, this is something you can consider. So no support resistance stops, just accumulate your shares on a set schedule, right? So that answers your question, Cabria. Just buy on a set schedule. Just buy it. Have money. When money comes into your account from whatever it is that you're doing, buy some. Over a set schedule. Because again, I am here to dispel the myth of not putting all of your eggs in one basket, because all of the extremely rich people that I know have put a lot of eggs into some baskets. That's the thing, right? Right now, Mark Cuban's net worth is like 5.9 billion. He has 1.4 billion into Amazon. So Mark Cuban, billionaire, and you might say, oh, that's easy. He has billions of dollars. Bro, it doesn't matter. It's the exact same amount that you might have. If you have $300,000, he's putting 25% of his entire liquid net worth into one company. So it takes time, right? It takes time. But if you can find and research good companies, and you can be in those good companies, and you can accumulate, it's wise. It's all about growth. So go back in time and think about industries and inventions and new things. So the World Wide Web, when it came out in 1990, buying these companies that have been around. I know that Apple's been around in 1994. Right? Electric cars started booming in 2003, Bitcoin 2012. I know hundreds of people that still think Bitcoin's a scam. What we have to do, my friends, is we have to focus on and think about and really ponder and spend time finding and understanding and analyzing and reading and studying bold leaders that encourage innovation in their companies. Tesla was founded in 2003, years before their IPO in 2010 at $17 a share. Now, at that point in time, you might have gone, well, how would I have known anything about Tesla as an investment? I was a little early in my investing career at that point, so I was not doing that. Right, 2010 was 10 years ago, so I was only 22. So I was still a little bit on the newer side of that. But when you talk about companies, what's the new Apple? Go find new companies that are doing things, that are creating innovation, and study those people. Type in a 1 if you remember why I became extremely bullish on Tesla back at 170 a share. If you remember why. All right, so go ahead and tell me. Who can tell me why? There's one specific incident. There's one thing that I did that I was like, this company is absolutely going to crush. What is the one thing? Ross, you're very close. This was before the Cybertruck. Eve, you're very, very close. Sylvan, you're super, super close. It was not a dream. No, there's one thing I did. Ross says you went to a shareholder meeting. Nope. Wasn't that. Wasn't a test drive of the vehicle. Sylvan says you went to another country and saw a lot of Teslas. Nope, it was before that. Here's what I did. I read and listened to his biography on Audible. That was what I did. That was it. Elon Musk's biography. I actually forget off the top of my head what the name of it is. Give me 3 seconds. I will pull it up. It's this one. This is what it looks like right here. Can you guys all see that image? I just want to make sure. Yeah, you can see that. Okay, so that is the that's what I listened to. So when I listened to that Audible, I said to myself, "Oh my goodness, this is unarguably the smartest human that's alive right now, and anything he does is going to turn to gold." That was it. So, excuse me. So with that being said, Amy says there were a lot of skeptics, tons of skeptics. Yep. Ross says I was a skeptic. Loads and loads of skeptics for sure. And that's okay, not a big deal. But bottom line, it's about leaders that encourage innovation in their companies. I think we can all agree that Steve Jobs was a leader and he encouraged innovation. Someone asked, what's the next invention in 2020? Keep listening. We're going to get there. Lucas says the more critics, it means this person is more special. That is 100% correct. Cabria says it's going to be 5G in 2020. I disagree totally, but I'll get to that later. I totally disagree. I don't think 5G is not going to be it at all. In fact, why? Why do I not think 5G is going to be it? Can anyone tell me? 5G will not be the new thing. Why is it? Because everyone already knows about it now. That is the only thing. That's what you're getting fed by any news source and any outlet and any article. 5G has already been talked about for the last 3 years, and it whatever. Everyone, lithium batteries, because electric cars are going to be increasing. Like, I've heard that story for 9 years. It's not going to be 5G. It's not going to be what everyone knows and what everyone talks about. I'll get that though. I'll get to what I think is going to be. So again, when you're going back in time, just imagine that you were there during this process. So think about Google. Okay. Google, if you had bought a little bit of Google, let's say 1 share every month or every quarter, could you grow wealth over time? Obviously, we all know the answer to that question. But you got to think to yourself, well, why did you not do that? Why did you not do that? If you're here, you most likely, hopefully did that. But if you didn't, why not? I know why I didn't do it. John says I was busy working. Busy working. I think it makes it automatic to just transfer money into the account and buy it, right? But it's all good. I'm just joking. Right. The whole term busy, right? Don't get too busy to make money. Always remember that. But again, it's okay that you didn't. I didn't do it either. I'm going to get to one that I did do it on. Don't worry. I did not do it on Google. I missed that boat. I've made some money on Google in my time, but I missed it on Google. But would you all agree that Google was innovative in their companies, ladies and gentlemen? Yes or no? You guys all say yes, absolutely. Are you sure? I mean, do you think that you could recognize a new company that comes out that is innovative, when it's brand new? Okay. So it's happening because it's 20 years old. But what you got to do is you got to do a little bit of research. You got to spend a little bit of time. I'll talk about how I do it as well and how Matt does it as well. Matt is who's the Chief Technology Officer of Real Life Trading and who's on the webinar right now and who's one of my mentors, one of my best friends. Extremely, extremely financially well off. Matt is awesome. Him and I are doing very well financially, but only because we've done these things, like the things we're talking about now. We've done them. We take a little bit of time on the weekends. We read some articles. We read some books. We interview some people. We pay money to people who are smarter than us so that we can gain insight from them. Hey, XYZ person, can I pay you XYZ dollar price per hour to have a phone call with you so that I can talk to you about what stock is a great pick and why? I mean, do you think that would be valuable? Matt says, I call IR departments too. What's IR, Matt? Investor relations. There you go. Ross says, who's a better mentor, Jeremy or Matt? Ooh, that's tough. It's Matt without question, hands down. He says me, but Matt's the answer. He has more wisdom. He has much more wisdom and he has kids. So he did all the things that he did with kids and a wife. I'm just still over here single and, you know. Anyway, I love Matt. Matt's definitely the better mentor, hands down. Now, Google, we talked about Google. Awesome. What about Amazon? Now, Amazon, again, I was really bullish on Amazon. I made money on Amazon. I did not miss this boat. Amazon single-handedly helped me do some really big things in my life over here. That little bounce right there went from like 200 to like 300 a share. That's what helped me go to England for an entire month. Now, that doesn't really sound that cool, I guess, but when I was 21 and I had a job, and I was like, hey, job, I don't really care. Bye. I'm going to England for a month. And they said, no, you can't do that. I'm like, I can. And you're not going to fire me. And if you want to fire me, I really don't care because I just made insane amounts of money trading Amazon. So goodbye. It wasn't really that mean. I actually liked the company. I was like, hey, I want to take a month unpaid vacation. Can I do that? Is there any chance I can do that? They're like, nope, that's not allowed. I'm like, well, are you sure? You don't have to pay me anything. I'll come back. Just don't pay me. Anyway, long story short, I didn't miss Amazon. I missed this. Kind of, sort of. I mean, Amazon, again, is part of a lot of ETFs that I invest in long-term. So I'll talk a little bit about that strategy in just a moment. But Amazon's part of large ETFs. And again, do you think Amazon's done, ladies and gentlemen? Is this it? Is this the all-time high on Amazon? No. Amazon will double in the next 5 calendar years, mathematically. And I've been saying that since 1600. So a year ago, if you've been at all in any of the trading rooms that I put on at any point in time, I've been mentioning that Amazon will double in the next 5 calendar years. Mathematically, all they have to do is just not increase 1 iota. And that's what's going to happen. Now, is doubling your money in 4 years good? You know, it depends on your perspective of life. It may be great. It may be okay. All right. What about this? What about Facebook? Is Facebook way too early to get into? It's been around for 7 years. So again, let's think through what I did with Tesla. Okay. You all know my story on Tesla. I talked about it the other day. Could you do the exact same for Mark Zuckerberg? Could you start researching how smart that guy is and how innovative the company is and ask employees who work there, is it good? What's their future? What's their vision? I'm sure all of you here know that Facebook owns WhatsApp. WhatsApp is like the third most popular communication text message device on planet Earth. You know what they also own? Instagram. The second most popular platform on planet Earth. You know what the first one is? Facebook. So they own the top 3 of the 5 most downloaded apps in 2019 and 2020. 4 of those 5 were Facebook owned. Facebook, Facebook Messenger, Instagram, and WhatsApp. And I think the 5th one was like Angry Birds or something. I don't remember the 5th one. It's irrelevant. But Facebook owned 4 of the 5. They also own Oculus. Emmanuel says, is TikTok going to be bought out by Facebook? I don't know. Probably, maybe. I don't know the answer to that question. But I mentioned, and I don't know if a lot of you listened or whatnot, that's totally cool either way, but I had an interview with one of my other mentors, Dennis Dick, back here on Facebook around 170. And we were talking about earnings and what Facebook was going to do over earnings. I'm sure a lot of you remember that discussion, but I mentioned that I was extremely, extremely bullish on Facebook over earnings. Why? Why would I have been bullish on Facebook over earnings? And again, this is just, it takes an hour to think about. I'm not smarter than you, I promise. I'm just a normal dude. But I sat down for an hour and I did the Napoleon Hill Think and Grow Rich. Why would Facebook have great earnings this past quarter? Lucas, there you go. Simple answer. Because everyone was at home using Facebook. No one's at work. Everyone's on Facebook, which means what? If everyone's on Facebook, just like Zoom, everyone's at their house. They're collecting data and they're advertising and they're marketing to people on Facebook. What else do they own? WhatsApp. How many people are in their home sending WhatsApp messages back and forth to each other in all parts of the world? Literally billions. Okay. The answer is billions of them. Who else is sitting on their bathroom toilet or their couch or their living room chairs, sitting on Instagram, scrolling through Instagram, posting pictures? Lucas says young people prefer Instagram. They do. And they own all of that. There was no question in my mind that they were going to absolutely murder earnings. And that was weeks ago from this particular presentation, weeks ago. You could have bought 1,000 shares of Facebook at 170, and now it's at 230. You'd be up $60 a share, which is $60,000. And it would have been a no-brainer on Facebook. Long term. Long term, Facebook's going to go higher. You're hearing it here first. It will absolutely, unequivocally go higher. I'm letting you know now. Unquestionable. They have too much money, too much stability, too many users. And technical charts are brilliant. So there you go. There's one. And it's not that expensive. I mean, you can look at it and go, oh, it's $230 a share. Do you need me to go back? Oh, it's $230 a share. I can't buy that. Oh, no. $230. Boy, I can only buy 4 shares. You might be able to buy 4 shares this month, but what about next month? Can you buy 2? What about the month after that? Can you buy 7? What about the month after that? Can you buy 10 or whatever? I don't know. Do you want me to go back again to Google? Ross says, when it hits 500, you'll be glad you bought 250. I think so. Okay, what about Tesla? Now, by the way, when, what am I trying to say? It's hard for me to describe how bullish I am on Tesla. The fact of the matter is, when you listen, I want everyone to listen to that biography. Can you guys do that for me? Type in a 1 if you listen to that. Even if you hate myself, you hate Tesla, or you hate Elon Musk, please listen to that biography. Because what you will do is your brain will be on fire. And your brain will think. You will think of something new that you have not thought of. That's what books do. That's what information does. You have extremely intelligent people because it takes someone who is dedicated, focused, energized, and has a deep passion for growth who can create a book. I forget the person who said it, and I'm going to butcher the quote, but it's something to the extent of, whoever can write a book can conquer the world, because it's so hard to do. It is not easy to write a full-on book. Therefore, for me, when I think of a book, like what do entrepreneurs teach their kids? When I think of a book, I know that that particular book could give me one small thing that I have not thought of before, that I have not analyzed before. It could trigger a memory. It could trigger a thought, a belief, a perspective. So anyway, I'm gonna get off that horse, but check out that audiobook. So again, on Tesla, if you had bought a little bit every quarter, could you grow your wealth over time? Bold leaders that encourage innovation in their companies. Of course you could. And secondly, think about this. Do you know that Tesla owns Solar City? Do you guys know that? Sure you did. Okay, well then why did you buy the stock? They bought Solar City. They're trying to power your entire home and car with solar panels. They're going to have vehicles driving down the road on top of solar panels, giving you energy remotely without having to do anything. So you have electric vehicles charged by solar. I mean, how brilliant is that? That is insane. So eventually, all of the energy in your vehicle and in your home will be free from the sun. That's crazy. It's so innovative. It's amazing. By the way, type in a 7 if you have not driven a Tesla. I will not make fun of you, but here, do this for me. And again, take it from the bottom of my heart. Please, please go drive a Tesla. Even if you hate it, go drive one. And then if you drive one, let me know if you still hate it. So a lot of people haven't driven one. Go drive a Tesla. By the way, and I'm going to get off the horse in just a moment, I promise. I did this exact same speech over here. Type in a 1 for all those who are in the chat pane, all those who traded with me, and you were there during that time. I did this exact same speech every single week for months. The exact same one I'm doing right now. This is not brand new. I made so much money on that move. So much money. It was brilliant. Woo! All right, cool deal. Now, look at this one, Nvidia. Now, Nvidia, I didn't even know they existed until probably 2017. And that's okay. But imagine picking up some shares of Nvidia, I mean, all through here. Wow. But again, these are some bold leaders that encourage innovation. David says, you're obviously not a gamer. No, I'm not. And that's okay. Again, I didn't know anything about Nvidia, but I got it back. I got it back. You see those little dots on the screen? You see those green dots? Let me go back. See that green dot? That's me going along. See the green dot? That was me playing a long position. Cabria says, what's the yellow? Another idea of some sort. So if we're looking at this particular position on Nvidia, again, I mean, absolutely skyrocketing. I got this idea from a coaching student that I worked with, and I will give him a shout out to him. I hope he knows this. David Webb. David lives in Houston, Texas, with his beautiful wife, Karen, and his children. I didn't even know Nvidia was a thing. He told me about it. And again, I might sound like an idiot, whatever, that's fine. But I didn't know it was really that big of a stock. I had no idea what it did. So 2016, 2017, I started doing a little research. I was like, wow. And yeah, so David Webb's in positions. He made a lot of money on Nvidia. Lucian says, where do you think it's going to go from here? Higher. Unquestionably. Just higher, a lot higher. 400, 500, 600, 700. Be bullish. Pat says, I had Nvidia at 18 and sold at 114. Hey, that's a great trade. That is not bad at all. The beautiful question is, did you rebuy at 125 in 2019 when it was tanking? But either way, great trade. Great trade. I did not do that, Pam, if you're wondering. All right. So, of course, hindsight is obvious. NEWSOME, you're telling us stuff that we already know. Cool, man. We get it. What's the next ones, bro? That's why we're here. That's why you're paying all this money to be on this webinar, right? That's why you're spending $40,000 to be here in this class so that you can learn a little bit more about what's going on into the future. All right. So ask yourself these questions. What companies have bold leaders that encourage innovation today? What are the big trends that are likely to occur in the next 3 to 5 years? And I will give you some tips in just a moment. But one of the things is, make sure you find some haters. What do I mean by that? A lot of people hated on Apple 10 years ago. Apple is becoming, as of right now, one of my smallest positions because I love Apple so much, and I'm quite confident they're going to do, and they're going to continue higher. But they have began to run their race. Everyone is in Apple. Apple is the market. I'm looking for newer companies now that I can start putting some of my wealth into to get the next one. Because I did very well in Apple. You guys all know that. Jeff says green dots on the other charts for the same reason. Yep. So again, make sure that you find some haters. If everyone agrees with you, if everyone's like, oh yeah, that's a no-brainer, don't get into that one. Have you guys heard of Ripple ever? Type in a 1 if you haven't ever heard of Ripple. Guess who never bought very much Ripple? I did buy some. The altcoin, that's right. Right, Ripple. Everyone knew everything about Ripple. Everything. They knew all about it. Oh yeah, Ripple is going to be a new banking coin to bank transfers. That's what everyone said. Everyone said the exact same thing. And everyone liked Ripple. Everyone had the exact same story and everyone liked it. That to me says stay out. I need to find companies that people go, oh no, I hate those companies. And I go, awesome. Type in a 2 if you hate Uber. See how many Uber haters I got out there. Emmanuel, we got David, beautiful. We got Jay, awesome. So all right, there we go. I got 3 haters on Uber. I know I'm in the right position then. There we go. I can't have everyone loving it. If everyone loves positions, then that's it. Ken says Ripple was a cheap wine back in the day and it's gotten cheaper. Jay says, sorry, I just don't get it. You don't get Uber? Oh man. Would you like me to paint you the picture? Oh, dude. Let me figure out if I go down. I'll go down this list a little bit later. Jay says, I have a car. Exactly. How much money is that car making you? How much money have you made off of that car, Jay? Jay says it's a jalopy. Well, get another car then. But long story short, you're going to have so many opportunities, man. Like Uber is going to partner with rental car companies. It's going to partner with artificial intelligence companies. It's going to partner with companies like Tesla. It's going to partner with companies like Delta Airlines and United Airlines to make sure that anyone in the world, when they're traveling, all their intelligence is going to sync up. They get to the airport. They already have a driver immediately. They already have someone that can pick them up. They already know exactly where they're going. They're going to have customized service drivers who know everything about you. You're going to have a profile when you get into the car. They're going to know exactly what you like to eat, where you need to go, what you dress like, what you're going to talk about, what music you like. They're going to have all this information on you, and it's going to be seamless and easy. And it's just going to pay right from your phone. Oh my goodness. They're going to revolutionize transportation. Ross says it's scary. Hey, I think it's great. I want to get into an Uber where the person knows exactly how much to talk to me and exactly where I need to go, right? I don't want to have a conversation with someone explaining, oh, take a left here, take a right there. It's going to, and it's already global. It is already global. Lyft is here in the US. Chris says, will there be a fake person? At some point, absolutely. If you don't think a robot will be driving an Uber vehicle in like 90 years from now, like, what do you do? Of course. But this is what I'm talking about, my friends. I'm talking about thinking, like really sitting down and trying to figure out what these companies can do. If you sat back and said, ladies and gentlemen, 15 years ago, you could sit down at your desk and put your finger on a computer and it will open up and it will recognize your face, scan it in, open it, and put music and images and videos all across all the devices in your house instantaneously, how would you have felt about that? Oh, no. I'm not going to have my fingerprint. I'm not going to have my face scanned. Hashtag Apple. Okay. Apple's already doing it. It's already done. Jose says Uberization of services, not owning cars, houses, offices, etc. Bingo. Because it's not just cars, ladies and gentlemen. Every transportation. Uber is going to get into the airline industry. It's a gig economy. It's great. I mean, oh, easy. So what I'm saying is go look at the CEO, the CFO, the CTO of Uber. Go research them. Go to YouTube, right? Pop over into YouTube. You don't think at some point Uber is going to partner with one of the other electric companies that's far behind Tesla, so they can offer a fleet of vehicles that can just drive you inexpensively anywhere you want to go? I mean, come on. All right. So let's go through this. When we're talking about something with an exciting and reasonable future, think technology and innovation. Now, when I'm talking about new companies, right? The new Apple, the new Microsoft, the new Adobe, those companies, you got to think of innovation. There's nothing wrong with blue chips. I'm just talking about making a lot of money quickly. The new Apple, right? Walmart versus Amazon, Sears versus TJ Maxx, Lululemon versus Ford and Tesla. I missed all of Lulu because I just did not get their vibe. I didn't understand it. And now I do, and it's too late. I've missed all of the Lulu. I missed it. But they have a culture. They have a fan base. They have people who are obsessed. They built a tribe. And they did it for men, they did it for women, and they focused on a specific type of market and really hammered down on that. So again, TJ Maxx versus Sears, right? I know Sears was the biggest company in America for like 20 years. I get that. Every company has its season, right? That's what I'm saying. Apple, I know Apple's going to go higher, but Apple is not going to 10X in the next 10 years. It might 3 or 4X, but it's not going to 10X. Not Apple. It's too big. I love Apple. I have a lot of Apple products, but again, they're for me are starting to become less and less insatiable. Matt says Sears was the largest retailer in the US before Walmart. Absolutely. Tracy says, how many people hate Peloton? A decent amount of people. Yeah. A lot of people hate Peloton. So again, what you need to do in a situation like this, folks, is go analyze, pull up the investor relations, go to YouTube, reach out to the CEO, CFO on Twitter, ask if you can ever have a conference, go to business meetings, go to read the biography if they've got them, or autobiographies or audibles, study them. Pour an hour a week into learning about a particular company or a particular person. I'm giving you hundreds of thousands of dollars of information right now. Listen, please. This is how you can become insanely wealthy, is you have to do some research. Napoleon Hill said it, think and grow rich. That's all Warren Buffett does, is he invests in people and companies and ideas and thoughts and beliefs and culture. And eventually they'll come up with a cool product. Now, again, here's some monthly and quarterly purchases examples of relative recent stocks. So if we're thinking about the trends, some stocks that we can do soon. What are the next big trends that are likely to occur in the next 3 to 5 years? Let's talk about some of them. What are the next big trends? Automation. Yeah, let's go talk about it. All right, so the next slide. Here's again some of my beliefs. I'm not saying that this is 100% accurate. Okay, I'm not saying this is the only way to make money. I'm simply saying this is my personal opinion. This is what myself, Matt, we put these slides together. So let's just talk about some of them, shall we? Cloud software. One of my mentors once told me 2 of the highest margin things that can ever be created: software and perfume. Guess what Uber is? It's a software. Faster internet. Why faster internet? Why faster websites? Why would that be valuable? Simply because you're going to have more and more digital real estate as more and more people are on the earth and as more and more things become technology based. The internet has only been around relatively 30 years. We're talking generational wealth here, ladies and gentlemen. I forget the statistics, but you still have like 30% of South America is not on the internet. 19% of America, the United States, is not on the internet. True story. You have, I think, 18% of Europe. You have like 19% of Western Europe. You have a lot of, I forget the exact statistic, but a large, scary statistic for Africa, India, Australia. I mean, there's tons and tons of people and countries that still are working through getting this. Cabria says lots of countries still use 3G. Yeah, this is true. So again, faster internet and websites will be a thing. Artificial intelligence and machine learning, analytics, data analytics. I'll repeat that one. Data analytics. Big data is liquid gold, gathering, analysis, and allocations of findings. David says, that's why you picked Wix and GoDaddy. Correct. Wix and GoDaddy does all 3 of these things. That's why I put them in my beginners classes. They do the machine learning. They do the deep dives. They try to get the information. They try to get as much content as they can. All right. Cord cutting media, AKA no cable boxes. Cable will die at some point. 10 years from now, I can see houses with very little cables at all, like actual cables. Everything will be wireless. Microphones, mice, treadmills, printers, computer monitors, TVs. It's all going to be wireless. All the things that you'll need electricity for will be wireless. Think about that. Think about, look around your surroundings right now. How many wires do you see? I see far too many. Why do I have this many wires? Okay. So cord cutting media, that is companies that are inventing and creating products with wireless capabilities is going to be huge. Continued e-commerce and social programs, remote health, so that people don't even have to go out of their house to go to a doctor. I mean, who wants to go to a doctor and get poked and prodded? I mean, do you think that people at some point, 2-3 years from now, can go on and log on to a specific website and company and get a medical doctor to give them a accurate, relatively accurate, potentially diagnosis, send them everything they need in the mail, and that person can do all the things from their house without waiting hours and without spending tons of money? Now, again, we just have to sit and think through some of this at some point. I know, my friends, that there is zero chance that you have all the money to put into all of these things. I get that. You can't put all of your money into all this stuff. What excites you the most? I really like the continued e-commerce and social aspect. I don't know anything about healthcare. I'm too young right now. I'm young and I don't know anything about healthcare. There, I said it. So that's not my favorite one. When I'm 47 and older, I'll probably learn a lot more about healthcare. But right now, I'm not a healthcare specialist. I'm not a political specialist either. I do not know that much about politics. I know enough, but I don't know that much. I'm just being honest. All right. There are certain things that I know a lot about. Cloud software, I'm okay at. Faster internet and websites, I'm okay at. Artificial intelligence, machine learning, analytics, I'm okay at. Continued e-commerce, social, and cord cutting media, I'm amazing at. That's my thing. I can crush on those. What else? David says, I work in healthcare and you do not want to know about healthcare. So here's some possibilities. Okay, cloud software. I am not saying to buy all these companies. I am saying you should absolutely do a little bit of research into some of these companies if you want to. But you could create a portfolio of these. You could start analyzing these. You could pick one of these companies and research them. You could find out who the CEO is, who the CFO is. I'll give you a hint. If any of these companies have a very powerhouse, extremely smart woman leader, pile money on that one. Women are smarter than guys in every facet, especially when it comes to business. When it comes to culture. And there's not many women CEOs out there. Far too few. But the ones that are, Google, CEO, oh, sorry, not Google, I apologize. YouTube. One of the reasons that YouTube far surpassed Vimeo, in my opinion, is YouTube was led by an innovative powerhouse of a female, where Vimeo was led by a robust blue chip dude who had 2 or 3 other companies that, didn't really care that much. They were launched at almost the exact same time and had the exact same opportunities, and boom, YouTube is now what it is and Vimeo is not. No one even knows what Vimeo is. The reason I'm bringing it up is I'm all about new culture, new ideas, new beliefs. What are people doing? How are they helping their workforce? How are they growing? Companies that are doing exceptional, exciting things. So we're going to talk about some of these. AYX, big fan of AYX. Roku. Man, Roku could be the next Netflix, right? Teladoc, Zoom. I mean, you could place Zoom in a few of these. You could place on cloud software. You could place on e-commerce. I cannot wait for Zoom to have a little technology piece that all I have to do is go, all right, ladies and gentlemen, If you want to buy it, click on this purple box and buy it. Oh my gosh, when that comes out, all my money goes into Zoom. Please, 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 Zoom, if you're listening, which I know you are, do that for me. Guys, how valuable would that be? Come on. You type in a 1 if you wanted to click that box right now. You just got to do it on the screen. I mean, it's like, click that box and pay me money. And people will be able to do it. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait for that. Oh, that'll be so great. But that's going to be a payment. This is not on here. Payment systems. Okay. Payment systems. Visa, MasterCard, old. They're old. Now, I'm not saying they're not going to go higher. I'm just saying they're old. Who's newer? PayPal. PayPal. Square. You guys all know I've been very bullish on PayPal and Square. So I like Visa. I like MasterCard, but they're blue chip. Yes, they're crushing it. Absolutely. Murderous. So are PayPal and Square, though. Square is up 137% in the last 5 weeks. Let me repeat that in case you weren't listening. 137% in the last 5 weeks. Where were you? 137%. That means if you put in $10,000, now you have 20 and some change. If you put in 20, now you have 40. Put in 40, now you have 80. Now with payments would also come, as Rob mentions, online gambling, online gaming. Gaming is going to be so massive. Oh my goodness. 10 cents. Whoo. TCEHY, powerhouse. Yes, yes, yes. So again, spending some time, going through some articles, going through some newsletters, picking companies, doing webinars just like this. Online music, Spotify, absolutely. Spotify is going to be huge. All right, so how could you turn $500 a month into $1 million in the next 5 to 15 years? Is that even possible? Of course it is. So let's go through some ETF examples, because it's going to be a little bit harder turning $500 a month into $1 million using mutual funds. We already know that. But here's what you can do on some ETFs. So if you're looking at techs, this is something that you have the opportunity of doing. Cabria says, can you create your own pie of stocks and invest passively? Of course. Absolutely. So the Qs, look at how the Qs, this is a tech-oriented ETF, and we know they had massive crashes. Right? We know they can have big pullbacks. We know it can be volatile. But again, if you don't want to pick one individual company, the Qs will be rebalanced year after year. I mean, if one company's bad, they'll take it out and put another one in. The Qs will be changed, will be rebalanced. Things will approach, things will flex, things will change. So this is a tech-oriented ETF. If you want to buy $500 worth of the Qs every single month, if you do the math from 2007 until now, that's 13 years. $500 every month for 13 years. Would you have $1 million on the Qs? Very close to it. Extremely close to it. SPY, same thing. So if you're rocking out the SPY and the S&P 500 ETF, I'm a big fan of this one. I have a lot of positions in SPY long term, right? This is an ETF that you could just buy and own and have long term. Yeah, totally. Again, this is an ETF. If you're, we talked about this in the beginner's class. IWM is a small cap oriented ETF. It's a little bit more volatile and it takes a little bit longer because it has 2,000 stocks. Takes a little bit of time. A little slower, but you can always consider that if you want. Let's talk about how you can do some monthly and quarterly purchases of some stocks now, right? Because again, you can still do Qs. You can still do the SPY. I would not personally consider doing leveraged ETFs. You could day trade those, but leveraged ETFs can go bankrupt. They can go under because they are leveraged ETFs. The performance is built where they can go to zero. Cabria says an ETF versus an individual stock, which is better? Individual stocks always, as far as returns are concerned. Victor says, do you buy at market when you buy automatically? Yes, sir. All right. So again, you can do ETFs. You can also mix it up. Okay. You can easily mix it up where you have some of your money going into your long-term stuff like SPY, which is what I do. Right? So here's some companies. Here's some positions. Here's some stocks that you could consider doing some monthly reoccurring purchases on. Roku is number one. It's the first one. This is a growth company. This had a 500% move in 2019. Where were you, Jerremy Newsome? It went from $25 to $175. Do the math. 500% return. 500. That is a lot. So if you're buying and reoccurring just this one stock, you're already doing exceptionally well. Exceedingly well. Every single month, you're buying $500 worth of this company. You've already done great. Here's what Roku is doing right now. I'll tell you. I already know what it's doing. I can see it. This is a 1, 2, 3, giant wave, 4, 5. We're going to get to Elliott wave later in the next program. Roku will be higher in the future. Okay. FSLY. Now, again, I know you spent a lot of money to be here tonight, but you should still probably consider some of these companies that we're bringing up on this webinar. If you're like, oh, I wonder what the next Apple is going to be. Do you remember me talking about FSLY recently, AKA in the exact last program before earnings? And I brought it up on FinViz and I said, oh, wow, I wonder what the next Apple and Microsoft could be. It's going to be these new companies. This absolutely can be one of them. Am I saying it's going to be? No. I'm saying you have to do some research, go to the CEO, pull up the investor relations, go to their website, read some books on it, read some articles on it. Do you find out what they do? Do you like what they do? Here's what they do. They make websites faster. That's what they do. Jose said, I made 20% on FSLY last month. Nice. You know, at some point, Jose, you're going to have to join the trading room, right? At some point, you're just going to have to buy my services, man. I know we can be friends and all, but Jose is one of my epic, crazy, insane workout buddies who's just an absolute monster. So yeah, FSLY, this is a really, really interesting concept and product and company. And again, once they IPO'd, they literally make websites faster. If you were buying $10 a share or $10 worth of this particular company, you're up 300%. All right, you guys all take a note? You're taking notes, right? Type in a 1 if you're taking notes. I hope you're taking some notes. Okay. Because the thing is, people are going to watch this webinar 4 years from now and go, oh man, I wish you would have taught this webinar now. You guys were already saying that in the chat pane. I wish you were talking about that in March. I did talk about that in March. We had a beginner. I did the beginners class in March. Do you think that was by accident? By the way, folks, when the market was crashing, you think I said, let me launch my new program for the beginners now? Yeah, that was intentional. I would have loved to have waited and done it because that March was insane for me. I had crazy tons of personal stuff going on in that. I was like, I had to do it. I got to get it done. This is the time where I have to teach this class. COVID-19 at the bottom The bottom of COVID-19 is when I launched and talked about my class and talked about this exact style of investing then. This is when I launched the beginner's class right here. Lucian says, I didn't have any money to buy at that time. Oh, yes, you did. You definitely had some. You had $100. Jay says, I didn't believe you then, but now I do. Hey, man, at least you're honest. That's fair. Oh, that's awesome. That is funny. Hey, all good. Albert says, this class is too good to be free. Oh, well, it's all good. AYX. I may know someone who has large positions in AYX. Very intriguing company. Very, very intriguing. In my opinion. Some really exciting stuff going on with AYX. Talk about data analysis, machine learning, computative, quantitative analysis, all those other big words I can't totally pronounce. Jose said, I had that one and sold it. One of the wealthiest people in Atlanta told me to invest in it months ago. Nice. Well, at least I hope you sold it at 150 a week ago and locked in some profit, if that's what you're talking about. Otherwise, if you can give me the phone number of one of the wealthiest people in Atlanta, and so that I can call that person and get that same advice, because I think I know what you're talking about. Are you talking about who you think I'm talking about? Jose says no. Okay. Well, anyway. Regardless. Still, this is not over. This company is not over, my friends. Now, again, am I saying take your entire nest egg net worth and buy this stock right now, tomorrow? No. What I'm saying is you could take $500 a month and buy some of these or one of these or a few of these companies for the next few months, next few years, and you'll say, hey, Jeremy, thanks a lot. I really appreciate that. Rob Thomas, you listen to me? Lee says, I wanted to buy around 90 and got scared because it's still going down. Should have bought some at 80. Buy a little bit, because remember, Lee, you don't have to buy tons. You don't have to buy loads and loads and loads. You can just have you can have 10 shares, 3 shares, 1 share. Right? It doesn't have to be a lot, ladies and gentlemen. The thing is, if you're afraid to buy, it's because you're buying too much. So half it, buy a little bit if you want. Jose says, I got it at 90 and sold it at 130. Hey, that's a great trade, man. Good job. Well done. LVGO. Woo, look at this chart. Man, take some notes. Pinterest. Here we go, Pinterest. Here we go. Jose hated my idea on Pinterest right here when it went up 35%. So he probably definitely hates it right now. But still, I know a lot of people use Pinterest. Look at this chart. It just screams like it has room to go higher. This is a data gold field. I am telling you all that Pinterest will go higher in time. It has to. There's too much data and too many marketers going on Pinterest. Do I think someone will buy Pinterest? No, I don't. Nope. I think they'll make some acquisitions and they'll start buying some companies. So anyway, Pinterest, I like this one. I'm really interested. Nice social media platform. There's a lot of things that Pinterest can do well. Shopify, I mean, you could be a little late to the party, but look at the green dots. Look at the green dots. Shopify. I mean, and I don't know if anyone was here. So I went to New York City in June of last year, and I made two really, really big, bold predictions. One of them was that Tesla was going to go higher when it was at 170. And the other one that was that Shopify was going to absolutely be murderous. And you know why I thought that? I talked to one person. One person. I will give him all the credit. All the credit. My boy, Dennis Dick, one of my mentors. I paid him a lot of money for this conversation. And I said, hey, Dennis, what's some of the stock picks that you like a lot? And he said, I like Shopify. And I said this question. Ready for this? Why? And he goes, man, you know, I think they have a really good story. They have a really good product. But mostly they're a new Canadian tech company. And Canada doesn't have that much tech company to pour its money into. So when you're looking at mutual funds or companies that need to buy some new tech, they're going to be buying Shopify because, simply put, there's no other really good tech company here in Canada to invest some money into. And I said, well, Snapdragons, that sounds like the most obvious answer to me of all time. Let's buy some, Dennis. Right? That was the whole conversation. Now, I knew a little bit about the company already. I'd done in my research. I knew what it did. I liked it. I understood it. And I don't think Shopify is over. I know it sounds crazy, but this thing could have a split soon. The thing is, Shopify is one of the few tech companies based in Canada. Who can name two other Canadian tech companies that are publicly traded that are available to be bought into? Diego says, did you mention the Facebook Shopify partnership? I guess I just did. Jay says Activision Blizzard. Is Activision Blizzard Canadian? I'd have to research that. I did not know that. The other one is Research in Motion, aka BlackBerry. BlackBerry. Oh, BlackBerry. I mean, who likes BlackBerry? Okay, nobody. I don't even know how it's still traded. So that's it. You got like BlackBerry and Shopify. So if you are in Canada and you want some tech exposure in your portfolio, you don't really have anything else to do. So anyway, that's one reason why Shopify is going to go higher, because Canada is going to continue to buy stock in it. Next on the list, Mongo database. Look at Mongo database. Man, data. Look at the breakout of that distribution phase. Now, type in do you notice any green dots on Mongo database? No, I don't have any of this one because I'm dumb. I can't be in everything. I don't have any Mongo database position. So, yep. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what questions do you have for me? Cabria says COVID sale was huge. I agree. I fully agree. I think it was, I'm not going to go into my beliefs on COVID specifically, but I think it was just the most ridiculous thing of all time. And it's a flash crash, very similar to 1987. Lucas says, you killed it today. Perfect class. Thank you. Jay says, do you avoid news? I do. Tracy says, what are your thoughts on oil? Stay away from oil. Joseph says, what do you think of Virgin Galactic? That's a great question. That's a very good question. Let me talk about Virgin Galactic. I do have some thoughts on Virgin Galactic. So here's what I think on Virgin Galactic. Fundamentally, they're going to have a big problem because the only people that are going to buy their products are extremely wealthy people, number one. And number two, they are directly trying to compete with SpaceX. And they are far behind. Now, that being said, Their product needs to get a lot better, because if you go to SpaceX's website, sorry, not SpaceX, Virgin Galactic website. I could just type in Virgin Galactic. Virgin Galactic websites. Take your one small step. Let me reserve that. So all of this is automated. This is all a graphic because it hasn't happened yet. Okay, so it's all like maybe. And let me, together we're gonna change space for the world. Let's see, give me 3 seconds. Now again, love the idea of it. I'm trying to figure out where and why, where to go. Let's do mission for a moment. So again, this is a way that you can explore the company. Okay, we are the world's first commercial space line and vertically integrated aerospace company. With our sister company, the spaceship company, we are developing and operating a new generation of space vehicles to open space for everyone. Our mission to be the space line for Earth, which means we focus on using space for good while delivering an unparalleled customer experience. I'm waiting and trying to find, there's a term in here at some point where it says suborbital space flight. So they're not actually going into space. So a lot of people think, oh, I can buy a ticket and go into space. It's not specifically what's happening. Tesla will not buy Virgin Galactic. No, there's no point. SpaceX is so much better in every way possible than Virgin Galactic right now. However, do I think that you could buy 10 shares worth of Virgin Galactic every month for the next 5 years? Absolutely. 100% yes. Without question. Without question, because I love Richard Branson. I love everything he does. He's an incredible, very philanthropic gentleman. He donates so much money every year to charities and companies and countries and people who need it. Just an amazing human being. They're going to have a lot of things that they're going to do right. They have a lot of things that they're going to do wrong. But at the outset, what's really interesting and the future of what this company can do is incredible, right? So it's not going to be just flying with us. It's not going to be just like people go in, they do their low Earth orbits, and they, that's not going to be the only thing they do. They're going to have many other applications. So yep, I would agree that Virgin Galactic would be one absolutely worthwhile to buy 10 shares in every month for the next 3 years and find out how it plays out. And then in 3 years, if it's still trading sideways, maybe just downgrade it to 6 shares a month or 5 shares a month. Because there's a lot of great things that they can do. Manuel says they might do space sharing, Uber, but in space, go from New York to Paris in 10 minutes. Absolutely. Oh, for sure. I think that's a great point. They could easily open up incredibly fast travel for the extremely rich, because space travel is insanely expensive, right? It'll take a long time for this to get a grip on the average consumer. So in recessions, this company's not going to do very well, because, well, it's only the rich who are going to be doing, or the wealthy, who are going to be doing anything with Virgin Galactic. So you're just normal average Joe or Jane is not going to be spending money on Virgin Galactic stuff. And that's okay, but there's a lot of average Janes and average Joes who are going to be watching Netflix and using Uber and so on and so forth. But in 15 years, all of you hopefully will be rich enough to afford a flight on Virgin Galactic, right? Which is $250,000, by the way. All right. So that's my thoughts on Virgin Galactic. NEO is very fun to trade. That's my thoughts on NEO. Very tradable. I don't know anything about the company long term, but I know that it could be extremely fun to trade. This was the bracket trade setup that we placed for 4 days ago on NEO, was getting in bullish above this bearish candle at 411 with a stop at 333. Jose says, do you think we'll have another drop entry point in the market for these tech stocks? Oh, of course. I mean, the stocks are always going to pull back, but they're not going to pull back nearly as far as they did. So yeah, you'll have small pullbacks. You'll have some drops. Absolutely. But broader market wise, because everyone's expecting the market to drop and everyone wants and needs the market to drop, I think we have to go higher before we go lower. And lower is going to be still not much lower. CrowdStrike, I have not analyzed CrowdStrike that much. The stock price itself is going banana sandwich. I mean, it looks absolutely gorgeous. I just haven't done a lot of research on CrowdStrike personally, so I really can't say. I can't speak much to CrowdStrike, but I would assume it's a solid one. DraftKings, I'm a big fan of DraftKings. Football season around the corner. If football season opens up, DraftKings will do pretty well. I'm very interested to see what DraftKings does long term, but I mean, they just came out the gate and just started soaring. So really any pullback is viable on DraftKings to some degree. But I would say this, if you play fantasy football or you play and you use the online applications of DraftKings, you should probably have some money in that one. Steven says, would you put Baidu and JD on the growth stocks to buy? I would not put Baidu. I would put JD though. Yes. Baidu's on a growth stock because it's been around forever. I mean, this thing has had so much opportunity to grow. I'm talking 2006, and it hasn't really growing. I mean, it's not growing. Right? JD, yep. JD is growing. Bazoon, which is the Chinese Shopify, BZUN, still looks pretty. Look at this double bottom on a monthly chart. So this is the Chinese Shopify. Again, you're welcome to do more research on it and figure out more and more about BZUN. But I am an absolute fan if it can take out this high. But again, if you're buying 10 shares at a time, right, you're definitely down to flat on it right now. But again, we all know kind of how Shopify did in itself, and China needs Shopify type of companies. There's your double bottom on a weekly chart. That's buyable right now. Gorgeous. Brilliant setup. Beautiful. Joseph says Elon Musk owns SpaceX. Yes, he does. What else, team? I'll do another 2 or 3 minutes. Take-Two Interactive, brilliant company. Hands down, be bullish. They have no debt. They have a great product. Tons and tons of people use them. They've been around for a while. They are definitely growing. Their fundamentals are good. And they're at a resistance at 140, but as they pull back into the low to mid 100s, start slowly picking some up, because this is just a consolidation distribution phase that will go higher. Oh, Cabri, that's tough. Who's the next Elon Musk? I hope it's a lady, honestly. I want to pour a lot of money into that. Jack Dorsey. He's not going to be the next Elon Musk, but he's one smart dude. He's one smart guy. I'm not sure, man. I mean, I'll let you all know when I find that person. The dude who created Ethereum, if he can learn how to speak well and get his points across. Korea says, I thank you. I'm not the next Elon Musk, man. I'm the next Tony Robbins. I appreciate the kind words, but Elon Musk is a different brainwave than I do. I'm the next Tony Robbins, man. I'm going to be the inspirer and the motivator. And Elon Musk is the visionary and the creator, because he's just next level smart. I know where I stand. I am very intelligent, but I'm not that level of intelligent. That's Matt DeLong. Matt DeLong is Elon Musk smart. Ben says, Jan does not do drugs. That is a true statement. I do not do drugs. That is a fact. I used to. I've done some drugs in the past. I'll tell you that. Whoo, man, not a fan of that. I am off the drug train. Say no to drugs. ESTC, Elastic. I know a little bit about this one. I really do like the chart. I need to do more fundamentals on this one, but yeah, Elastic, I would just have to redo a little bit more research on. One website that you all should use a little bit of is FinViz. Spend an hour on FinViz every month and just try to break it. Go through the screener, click on all, and just try to break this website. Just click on things that you think are interesting. Let's do one. Analysts recommend strong buy. All right, we'll get all that out. Net profit margin, positive. Okay, so now we have 120. All right, so now let's do target price, 50% above price. Now we got 5, boom. All right, so I'll go look at these charts. And Intelligent Systems Corporation, INS, looks interesting. INS. Oh, wow. Look what I just found. Look at this. Oh, man. Good grief. So I'd have to peel in and find out if I could find out a little bit about what they do. That's really, really cool. If you add a P to this one, you get Inspire Medical Solutions. I flew down to Australia and gave everyone this stock pick, and no one bought it. So I was like, all right, Australia, I'll give you one more shot, but if I come back next time. This was October of 2019. So right down here, 56 a share. I was like, great long-term buy, Inspire Medical Systems. They do sleep studies. I mean, who doesn't want more sleep studies? Look how quickly it rallied back. I mean, bang, bang, bang. Beyond Meat, definitely. I like Beyond Meat a lot. There's so many things that they can do. There's so many applications that they could do correctly if they really want to. So, team, here's my humble sales pitch. If you do want to be a part of a group of people that look at these companies all the time, that research these companies all the time, who go through and analyze and talk about these companies all the time. Yes, active trading is fun. It's exciting. It generates cash flow. You can do really cool things with the cash flow, like buy real estate, take excellent trips with your family, pay off debt, do fun things. But if you want, join Real Life Trading. Go to reallifetrading.com, click on live trading, and purchase one of the rooms if you would like to. I also have other online courses. Full disclosure, these 2 courses are legitimately phenomenal. If you buy them and you hate them, I will refund you. Okay? They are very, very good. All the premium courses are exceptional. This one is just next level great. This is one of my favorite courses I've ever built in my entire life. And this one is so, so good for swing traders. So again, if you don't have time to actively trade and participate, right? If you have a crappy job, as Jay says in the chat pane, do one of these courses. If you think this class was valuable, because it's entirely free, imagine spending a little bit of money and determine what I can give you then. A course that I know is even more valuable than the free one. So that's my humble sales pitch. If you guys want, I love money. Money loves me. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. It means a lot that you trust me with your time and your energy and your knowledge and your thoughts and your friends. I will be back for another program tomorrow for Module 5, which I will be talking about and discussing Elliott Wave and Fibonacci. If you think I blew your mind tonight, just wait until tomorrow. Tell all your friends to watch this class. It's already on YouTube. As soon as you click and sign out, you can go get this video on our YouTube channel Send it to every one of your friends. Please. Please do that. Tell them, listen, I will give you $10. Watch this video. Because you're going to change their life. They're going to find one piece of information from this video. Give $10 to your friends. Make them watch this video. Sit them down and say, if you don't watch this video, give me my $20 back. Or 10 or whatever. We got to get people. College kids, high school kids, young children, adults, your employers, your employees, your boss, your secretary, your assistant, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister. Get them to do this. This is powerful. I want people to live their life to their wildest dreams and do the things that excite them beyond all measures. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. And until next time, love life, live life, and trade it. I'll see you later. Bye.